I see you marrying a corpse, living in a grave.
The vampire can assume very many different forms at will. Sometimes it appears as a bat, and sometimes as a small cloud of swirling vapor. In this way, it can move unseen among its enemies.
Son of Dracula, searing the screen with new terror in this weird tale of the living dead who rise from the grave at night to prey on unsuspecting victims. With Louise Albritton, Robert Page, Evelyn Ankers, Frank Craven, J. Edward Bromberg, and Lon Chaney as the new Count Dracula, you'll shudder at the screen's most fascinating woman vampire, luring men with cold beauty and the promise of immortality.
Count Alucard is immortal. Through him, I attained immortality. Through me, you will do the same.
Good evening, goblins and ghouls, and welcome to the Wednesday night Scream Stream Mini-sode. I'm your host, Spakenstein, joined as always by my very good friend, Mr. Evan Sink.
Good evening.
How we doing tonight, Evan?
We are grand, just grand here on this Wednesday.
Oh, grand, are we? We're feeling grand.
I'm off to play the grand piano.
The grand piano. Ooh. We're feeling fancy tonight, I guess.
Yeah, welcome to Fancy Wednesday.
Fancy.
Look, we're done with Labor Day. I'm ready to just give up the whole working class thing. I'm going posh.
Oh, you're going upper class. You're just gonna start dressing for the part. You're gonna really. That's what, if anything's gonna get you into the spirit, it's gonna be, a really nice daytime suit. You're not going anywhere special. You're not going to any big fancy occasion. You maybe gotta go out and run a few chores, but you're gonna get all prettied up in a 3-piece suit, and you're gonna show everybody that you're upper class. That's the sign of upper class. So I like where your head is at, Evan. I think.
Forget Labor Day. When are we gonna come out with what would it be, Gentry Day?
Okay. Testing my vocabulary there. Gentry Day. What is the definition of gentry?
The gentle folk, the gentlemen and the gentle ladies.
Gentlemen and gentle ladies. Oh, fancy indeed. Grand. So you can tell we're feeling pretty good tonight, and I hope everybody else out there is feeling good tonight. And if you're not feeling good, you had a tough week. That's what these mini-sodes are for. Here to get you through the middle of your week by watching just a little sliver of public domain horror, a small offering, if you will. To kick back,
we'll give you a little pat on the back, send you on your way.
Yep, just get you
feeling good again.
Get you feeling good for a couple days until Friday, and then Friday when we get our film, that's when you really get your, your public domain horror fix. So this Wednesday offering is just to tide you over. And this season for our mini-sodes, we've only seen one so far, even though this is our third week, because last week we diverted a little bit to celebrate Frankenstein Day, and it was a nice celebration. But we kept it on theme because the Frankenstein adaptation that we watched starred Lon Chaney Jr., who is the host of the anthology series that we're watching for our minisodes this season, which is 13 Demon Street. And so last week we watched an old episode from a TV show called Tales of Tomorrow, an adaptation of Frankenstein. Lon Chaney played the monster, and Fresh Rogan says that he's in beast mode right now. But I think monster mode is really where it's at these days. If you're really raring to go, I don't know if beast mode is as evocative of just high levels of performance as it used to be. I don't know, it's a little dated, maybe. Fresh.
Oh, do you think beast mode's a little, what's beyond beast mode?
Monster mode, bro.
What's the next thing? Monster mode? Okay.
Monster mode. I say monster mode. Hadn't heard it yet. So it's new. We're going monster mode. I hope you're going monster mode right now, Fresh. It's again, if you're having no cap, if you're having trouble getting into monster mode, that's what the show is here for. For real. Let's get real for a second. Let me turn my chair around backwards and let me turn my headphones around. Beaster mode. Yeah, okay, yeah. So it's always adding the suffix ER to everything. That freshens it up. That's like a sequel to a movie, and it's just the same thing as the original. They just, added the 2 at the end of it. Just getting more of the same, just a little bit more. And so, we'll speaking of we'll see if tonight's 13 Demon Street is as 13 Demon Street as 2 weeks ago's episode. The first episode that we watched, which was titled The Black Hand, and that was a lot of fun. If for nothing else, the very ending, which involved Lon Chaney Jr. kind of getting into a fun little like visual gag, which made the whole episode worth it, honestly.
A little scare.
It did spook me. I was definitely caught off guard. And, the whole episode, the idea of the hand of a killer transplanted onto a normal guy, and then his hand is going out of control. I mean, that's just always a fun little story.
If anyone didn't catch the first episode that we watched of this show, do we want to give a little? So this show has like a more of a premise, you could say, like an overarching kind of deal.
Yeah.
Whereas the other ones were just removed horror anthology episodes.
Right. Yeah. The 2 that we've watched so far, and over on YouTube, Ethan BEKG, hello, welcome. The 2 other anthology shows that we've watched, One Step Beyond and The Veil, just kind of have a host sitting in a random room. There's not much of a story to the host segments. Here, it is interesting. We're actually getting a narrative to this framing device involving the host, which
Lon Chaney's he's in it. He's kind of a character, sort of.
In a way. And so basically, and he'll probably recap it at the beginning of every episode, but the basic idea is that he is stuck in the 13 Demons. He's a ghost or something, and is stuck in 13 Demon Street until he can find, and he won't be released until he can find a crime that is as worse as his. So all the different stories are like him looking at these different crimes, and you know, at least the one we watched last week had a bit of a horror supernatural angle to it.
Yeah, he had a hand thief. He stole a haunted hand.
Yeah, he really did steal it, if you think about it. I mean,
he did, yeah.
And again, we can't even begin to get into the logistics of how a surgeon whose probably good surgery hand was damaged, who goes on to cut off another guy's hand and stitch it onto his mangled arm. Don't ask me how it works. I couldn't tell you then, and
he's just, maybe he was using his foot.
I've had 2 weeks to think on it, and I still.
People, he's got the.
He does.
Foot.
Yeah, a little bit of extra foot strength. I'm sure he's using his teeth in there too. You know, and I guess he had his his girlfriend, or I don't remember who was with him, but I'm sure he, you know, maybe surgery is one of those things. Anybody can do it. You just gotta, somebody's just gotta instruct you.
Landing an airplane. You just need somebody to talk you through it.
Right. Landing an airplane surgery. What's the difference, right? I mean, that's the difference. So yeah, so that was it was a wild episode. And again, these episodes are only 23 minutes long, so I thought that the last episode we watched packed in a fair amount. So we'll see. Tonight's episode is entitled "A Fever." So
okay. So what's our crime tonight?
What is
That's the question.
Crime? Heaven has posed the ultimate question, and we will find out. Fever doesn't give us much to go on. Last week, the Black Hand. I mean, the guy literally, the hand did not match the rest of his body at all, and it was like turning evil. And it was literally by the end like black. So it was gruesome. Obviously,
that's our bar to clear. Is it better or worse than stealing a dead man's hands?
Well, you gotta hope that if the show is doing its due diligence, it should get progressively worse each time, right?
It should, yeah. I would hope so.
But this is 1959, so probably not.
We'll see.
More than we'll see. We'll keep an open mind about it. Who knows? But fever could be anything. We'll find out. I don't know where we're gonna take this break, Evan. I haven't really figured it out yet. We'll kind of see where the middle's at.
Play it by ear.
Play it by ear. To anything before we get into it tonight, Evan?
Fever. I think I've got a fever for more Lon Chaney.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna say the only prescription, more Lon Chaney. So on that note, yeah. All right, Evan, if you've got it queued up.
I do.
All right, and we're going to go ahead and get into the exciting beginning of 13 Demon Street Fever right now. Ooh. Turn it down a bit.
Welcome to my definitely not haunted house.
Love it. I love the atmosphere, man. These credits go on for a rather long time.
Who knew a door could be so atmospheric?
I know, right? Spooky. Ooh. Fever. Yeah, man. Creepy looking 13. The devil's number, is it? I don't know. I don't know what the devil's number is. I doubt it's 13. Should be.
What the devil's number is?
Yeah, does the devil have a number? Hey, Sweet Feet in the house. Yeah, it definitely sets an atmosphere for sure. Just the wind howling. camera not steady at all. I don't know. It's probably the print. It's probably not the camera. I think it's just the print.
It's all that wind. They can't keep the camera steady.
666. Of course, Sweet Fee. Yeah, what am I? I'm an idiot over here. Of course it's 6. The Mark of the Beast. Good old Kurt Siodmak. We'll talk about him at the break.
Does the devil have a number?
Number 13, Demon Street. I am condemned to live here, to suffer on this earth forever, as a punishment for my crime. It is said that no greater outrage was ever committed by any mortal. But should I find a crime more terrible than mine,
Another door.
my punishment will end.
Ooh, terrible painting.
Come with me. See for yourself.
Methinks they edited out part of Lon Chaney's segment.
It happened in Vienna.
See for yourself.
Yeah, that was he wasn't able to do very much there.
All right, I'll look after him, Dr. Cole.
Oh, and if you don't know, it's got these Swedish subtitles because it was a Swedish co-production. It's a whole
I
thing.
missed you. I missed you too. You met my fiancée, Annetta Berger, haven't you, Dr. Cole? John.
Sweet Fee, keep trying, that's freshest hill to die on. He's
Take over a few of his patients.
he's
Look
never
after
gonna
him
let
for
you
a
get
few
it.
days.
Promised to take me to the Prater today.
Tell her what she has to expect being a doctor's future wife.
We have a flu epidemic in Vienna, Miss Berger. We doctors have to work overtime to take care of our
Miss
patients.
Burger.
Care of France.
Oh, I'm not clever enough to come up with any good burger jokes.
Quite all right.
I hope he doesn't catch that flu.
We'll leave those to H. John Benjamin.
I've asked France to take care of some of my charity cases. You wouldn't deny them that
You would think as much Bob's Burgers as I've watched that I would have gotten most of those puns in my head by now.
A doctor is even more important than an emperor.
Is he?
Of course, because a doctor can tell the emperor to stay in bed and rule over 80 million people has to obey. So a chance if I got. Don't forget you ask people for tonight.
I won't forget. And be home early.
11?
Who is it? The doctor?
You're not Dr. Culm.
No, but he's sending me.
You ain't the doctor.
You're not my usual guy.
Sorry to lie down when I'm talking to you, Doctor.
I'm the substitute.
It isn't polite. The greet one's guest. This way.
Dang, he's got it bad.
We arrange that for you.
Okay, we're doing a Pickman's model.
No hospital for me. There isn't much wrong with me. There's a little brain you couldn't cure.
Oh, yeah.
Not a medicine of that kind, Doctor.
That's what I'm talking about. Oh, jeez. He's just going through alcohol withdrawals. Just give him a little bit of brandy. Jeez. Intriguing. Whoa. Uh-oh. We got a peeping Tom in the house.
So that's his crime?
That's his crime. I'm a peeper.
My crime is I paint my neighbor. What's up?
It wasn't ghostly or odd at all, was it?
Doctor.
Bye.
Your orders, Doctor.
My orders?
Were you looking at my neighbor?
Yes, I already know. No alcohol, lots of fresh milk and vegetables. You want me to leave this place and move into the country. Maybe you'd like me to take up sailing or tennis.
You're a very sick man, Sigeti. It's good joking about it. But if I were you, I would stop drinking for a time.
What else is there left? Save your time, Doctor.
I'm prescribing you a sailboat.
Take one of these and call me in 6 months.
I wish you'd take care of yourself.
You better come back, Doctor. You're more generous than old Dr. Colm.
You know he's just gonna go buy more liquor with that. Come on now.
You can't give that to him. He's just gonna buy more canvas.
Did you forget we were having dinner?
The doctor's time is not his own, darling. I'm sorry.
You know I had important doctor business to attend to.
Good evening. Oh.
Yeah, well, I'm training myself to be a hostess in my future home.
I wish more of your duties would begin before your marriage to me.
Whoa, that wasn't so subtle, was it?
Learn to cut your visits short, Franz, especially if they're charity
Sex.
calls.
He's talking about sex.
Sorry, I haven't caught the spirit of the medical profession yet.
Saucy for 1959.
Yeah.
To think that this man was once the most promising painter at the turn of the century, or before in the late 90s.
I saw a few unfinished paintings in his room. Some show his former talent. Thanks, darling. I'm not hungry.
But you haven't eaten all day. You're running a fever.
Of course I'm not. It's the wine.
Didn't catch a cold, did you?
As a doctor, I can take care of myself. Thank you. If I asked
caught
for
the
advice,
fever.
you might send me a bill, I'm afraid.
Quarantine, quarantine.
I'm very happy you could attend my party.
Oh, thank you very much. You're wearing your fiancée, Franz.
Well, good. She has to get used to it. But tell me, when you saw Sigeti, did you ever see that white Baroque building opposite?
Baroque building?
Yes. And as I looked at it, a girl opened a window and waved at me. Yes, Henrietta, I want you two to hear it. Today I saw a girl.
You gotta hear about this chick I saw. Oh my god. Total smoke.
That's why I came so late.
What was so extraordinary about the girl?
She looks like the girl on the paintings in Sigeti's room. But she lives in a house which doesn't exist.
It must be a frightening experience to see a pretty girl and not being able to find her.
No, that's not it, really.
Do you have a headache?
No, of course.
Got him. Zing. Better get used to that, married man.
If it were his model. But if she were a young girl, she couldn't have been the same girl he painted. By now, that girl would be in her 50s.
Do you mind if I take care of that Sigeti case?
To see the girl again?
Don't be jealous, darling. I better look at her like that.
She doesn't exist. Don't be jealous. Chill out. We'll go like a couple more minutes and then we'll take a break.
Sigeti?
Simple decor, tons of paintings on one side of the room, birdcage in the middle. Whoa.
There she is, always at the window.
Yeah, Yeah. I mean, she's probably younger than him for all we know. Let's see. Let's take a break. We'll just take a break right there, right? I'm at 11:26 if you're trying to make sure we're synced. But yeah, fade to black, perfect place to take a break. So that was the first half of Fever. What do we think so far, Evan?
Very interesting. So I feel like it's right on the tip of my tongue. I feel like I've seen a story that is kind of like this, where you look out the window and you see something incredible, but then you go down to the street and you can't find it anymore.
Right.
It feels really familiar to me, but I can't exactly remember where I've seen it before.
It does. It does seem like one of those stories that has probably been done on an anthology series before. Like I could see Twilight Zone doing kind of something like this, right? Like you look out your window and you see this place that doesn't exist, and there's this beautiful woman looking back. I mean, it's kind of a weird.
I feel like there was something I read from it must have either been Chambers or Lovecraft that they did something kind of like this at one point.
Okay. Yeah, I could see it's
look it up over the break.
Yeah, you're gonna have to do some detective work on that. Figure out solve that mystery for us. I definitely feels like it's probably based on some short story or adapted from some short story, more than likely. So it's I don't know. I mean, so far, it's definitely an interesting concept that has kind of a familiarity to it. That's always like a good quality for a story to have. Or new but familiar.
Yeah, I like kind of putting it in the frame of like fever, like sickness. There's some some things you can kind of take from that, like the idea of like a fever dream,
right,
is kind of interesting. Like, I mean, that can be kind of horrible in its own way.
Yeah. Oh God, yeah. So that they could definitely be alluding to that fever dream. I think that's probably must be an extreme representation.
Getting the sickness for someone,
right?
Like an obsession. That's is that the crime? Like, I wonder if they're building to something, or if that's just the crime.
I'm sure it's obsession that like spirals out of control. Like, it causes him. It's gonna cause him to do something horrible, like kill his fiance or some kind of something like that. I don't know. It's always fun with these anthologies. They kind of build up mystery around what's the horror or what's the paranormal activity, and even halfway through they can kind of like, all right, so like how is this gonna take a turn into like, and that's at least here it's guaranteed to take a turn, whereas with the One Step Beyond or The Veil, it could just stay kind of grounded at arm's length. It's never gonna like be something that like you would say, and because of that they were condemned to hell, like that's not really what we're getting here, unfortunately. Or that's not what we got in the other ones, unfortunately, but it is what we're getting here, which is nice. So we'll see how it shakes out. I mean, again, that's kind of the interesting thing about this series, is that it wasn't really broadcast in America. It was like co-produced by an American company and a Swedish company, but it was released in Sweden. That's why we get the subtitles on it like we do. But it didn't really catch on in America. It didn't get any kind of distribution, which is sad because it's I mean, so far, I mean, we're only 2 episodes in, but I'd say I feel like it's stronger than One Step Beyond. No offense to Mr. John Newland, who we got to spend some time with once again last week as well. But One Step Beyond had a tendency to be kind of disappointing to me, as did The Veil. The Veil just kind of had the added bonus of Karloff being center stage, But are you trying to figure out what that story is?
Yeah, I'm already trying to look it up.
Oh, I figured you just can't. It's eating at you. It's going to drive you crazy. You're going to start seeing the woman out your window. Oh God, I'm gonna have to go over there and save Evan before the show's over. I'm gonna have to try to prevent him from being driven insane.
Yeah, now I've got the fever.
Now he's got the fever. Look out. But again, this show, like, obviously, it's benefiting from more of a story than those other two shows, and I think what that is the fact that this show is created by Kurt Siodmak, who is the guy who basically created The Wolfman. He wrote the original screenplay, and that, of course, was Lon Chaney Jr.'s big break into horror stardom. So these two guys kind of are linked together, Kurt Siodmak and Lon Chaney Jr. And we'll find that out even more on Friday, and I'll tease that more at the end of the episode. But they worked together multiple times in their career. At least Chaney worked on multiple movies that were written by Kurt Siodmak. He started as a screenwriter. He moved into directing. His brother was a noir director who was like super famous for really atmospheric lighting, and he directed Son of Dracula, which we saw the trailer for coming into tonight's show, which stars Lon Chaney Jr. So it was directed by Kurt's brother. Kurt wrote it, and Lon Chaney's in it, and that's got a good little story, and it's kind of a noir itself, horror noir, which is not really wasn't really a thing. But that movie, if any movie is it, that movie's it. And so, they also, Kurt also wrote the stories for Frankenstein Meets the Wolfman and House of Frankenstein, and those are the trailers that we're going to be watching during our break. Of course, Frankenstein Meets the Wolfman started as a joke that Kurt Siodmak told one day to somebody at Universal, and they were like, "Oh yeah, that's actually a great idea for a movie. Write it up." And he was like, "Oh, I was kidding about Frankenstein Meets the Wolfman, but if you guys want it, I guess I'll write it up." So, and he kind of was like, definitely funny how that works. Like, it's funny because he was really sincere in his writing for the Wolfman, but it seems like for the later monster movies, he just kind of, he was like, this is just getting ridiculous. But he wrote the stories anyway, and I think he wrote the screenplay for Frankenstein Meets the Wolfman, and he's credited with the story for House of Frankenstein, which I think he just wrote like a short story that had all the monsters meeting, and that formed the basis of what they came up with. I think, I don't know if it was his version, but one of the original versions of that had the mummy in it, and of course the mummy doesn't show up. Unfortunately, that would make House of Frankenstein or House of Dracula, if they brought the mummy in, a little more interesting. Frankenstein, Dracula, and the Wolfman kind of get boring after a while. They can only do so much, and in those two movies, the second movie is just a rehash of the first, so it's just kind of ridiculous. Let's see, yes, Sylarn, that is true. They are facts. Just the facts. So yeah, I mean, the Siodmak and Chaney like have a history together. And it's funny that eventually they came together to do this TV show, which Kurt Siodmak was a good writer. So that's why I think we're getting a good story here in the framing. And I think that's also why we have Chaney, because Siodmak was involved. So and I think by this point in his career, he was directing a fair amount, so he understood how to bring atmosphere to a horror movie and how to create a vibe, and again, a good story. So, yep, fat facts. That's right, Sylarn, fat facts. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sorry if we're talking over the show. We might do that a little bit more. That might happen again. I know some of you out there may be trying to pay attention, but we do talk. We did, that's kind of part of the thing here is the commentary. But you enjoy it however you want. You can hate it if you want. So we're going to go to this break. Again, the trailers for Frankenstein Meets the Wolfman and House of Frankenstein. And then when we come back, we're going to get into the exciting conclusion of Fever. So stick around. We'll be right back.
Doesn't understand. There's a curse upon me. I change into a wolf.
Listen to me, Frank. I saw my father become obsessed by his power. He died a horrible death.
There's no need for us all to storm after her. She'll come in if I ask. Why should we treat her so fancy? She's a Frankenstein.
I'm going to repay you for betraying me. I'm going to give that brain of yours a new home in the skull of the Frankenstein monster.
The jugular vein is severed. Not cut, but torn apart as though by powerful teeth.
A werewolf. Last night I killed a man.
You didn't know what you were doing.
But I did. I wanted to kill.
I think they're after Dracula.
And we are back. So that was the trailers for Frankenstein Meets the Wolfman and House of Frankenstein. And you know what, Sylarn? You go tell the boys over down by Studio Canal that we're using these trailers because number one, Studio Canal has no claim on these trailers. Number two, nobody has any claims on these trailers because they're public domain, even though YouTube will make a claim, or Universal will make a claim on YouTube on both of those trailers. And of course, I will, honestly, with those Universal claims, I haven't even been disputing those anymore because I know that I'll be able to get it to go away. Like, eventually, and so I'm just like, not even gonna waste the energy on it, because they make me go through as much of the process before it starts getting like legal. So like I always win every time. They just always like, I put in a dispute, they deny it. I put in another dispute, they deny it again, and then I have to put in one more, and then they can't deny that. Or they ignore it, but I have to wait 30 days for them to like view it. And if they don't review it in 30 days, then it goes away. So it just gets me.
So what you're saying is that you're more powerful than both YouTube and Universal.
Just Universal, not YouTube. They have a lot of the power in those processes, but they're definitely piling up right now, Cylon. I probably do need to go in there and start knocking some of them out. But they're fun, and they are public domain. Those trailers are public domain. You can't. What's your question, Cylon? You got a side question. You're gonna derail the show. It better be worth it. Am I wearing pants? I can neither confirm nor deny the fact. No, yes. Luckily, I am wearing pants right now. It'd be easy to think that maybe I wasn't wearing pants, as hot as it's been lately, because sometimes it just gets too hot. You just gotta walk around in your underwear. But it got really cool in the evening really fast. That's what I love about fall is creeping in. Super hot during the day. You get those cool, crisp nights. I like that.
Yeah, if I'm being honest, I considered not wearing pants for the show today.
I mean, you guys are only seeing from down here up, right? What do I need to wear pants for?
Here up.
So what, Cylon? No, I'm not going that far. I couldn't see the rest of your chat. I'm not pulling a Tuvin. No. Pay no attention to the hand under the table. No. No, nothing inappropriate here, I hope. Evan, keeping it above board. Speaking of Evan, how'd your search go? Did you turn up any results?
So I think I was getting a couple of different stories mixed up. There's one by Lovecraft about a violinist, and that one has a window and like an element where he can't find like what was outside of the window, or he can't find where the place used to be.
Right.
And there was another one from Chambers that was again about a window. I think that's what is like tripping me up, is this window stuff.
Yeah.
So not exactly 1-to-1 comparison, but it's still, the story for this one still feels kind of familiar.
Yeah, it does. And real quick to address over on YouTube, Ethan BKG, your question, why you're not seeing some of this other chat that we're talking about is because it's coming from Twitch. We multi-stream to Twitch and YouTube. So sometimes I'm talking to people on Twitch and the YouTubers don't see that. And sometimes I'm talking to the YouTubers and the Twitch people don't see that. Like right now I'm addressing your question, Cylon or whoever is watching on Twitch like has no clue what I'm addressing. So it's a little confusing. I wish there was a way to merge the two chats. I'm gonna look into that. I don't know.
It's like we're the life of the party in two separate rooms at the same time.
Yeah, it's a little strange. You wanna make sure you're giving everybody your full undivided attention because you're the host. But a plug for Twitch. This is not a plug for Twitch. If Twitch made it easy, then I'd plug for them. But they don't merge the two chats. So here we are. But yeah, Evan, that's interesting that you are getting bits and pieces from other writers of horror. Would you say those are? Because I don't know about Chambers.
Yeah,
is both horror fiction writers. So I mean, that's
what happened last time. The thing with the hand, the hand that takes over control of your body. That's an idea that existed before this show.
Right. It
So
is.
It makes me wonder, going forward, how many things are we going to see like that in 13 Demon Street?
Probably if all the episodes are written by Kurt Siodmak, which I'm pretty sure this one was written and directed by him. I think all the episodes may be. He was a short story, a horror fiction writer on top of writing screenplays. And so
for all we know, he may have been influenced.
I think he was. I think he definitely was. I think he definitely drew a lot of his ideas from bits and pieces of other horror fiction, earlier writers. And he, I think his most famous short story was Donovan's Brain. I think that was I don't know if that was a short story or a novel or what. But yeah, I mean he was definitely primarily a writer, but I think it's more than likely that he was influenced by that. I mean, the whole hands thing, one of the earliest adaptations of that came out of Germany, and Kurt Siodmak was, he was from Germany, and he came up in the silent German like film era. He was that's kind of where he was trained, and then he was Jewish, so he ended up leaving Germany to come to America, and part of all the persecution over there is what inspired him to write The Wolfman. And so he knew a lot about folklore and history and stories, and so I think it's definitely probable that he's borrowing a little here and a little there to get what we get in these 13 Demon Street episodes. So yeah, I'm excited to see as we go throughout the season. Do you find more of those connections? I think you probably will. Yeah. So that's exciting.
Very interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, right, it is weird that Kurt Siodmak created and wrote and directed this show. It's kind of like, I guess it was because it's a Swedish show, but it's kind of rare for somebody that's primarily a writer at this time to just kind of be given like the entire creative reins to a show. But he had coming into this, he had a pretty good resume. So, and he had learned a lot by this point. So it'll be fun to kind of see his handiwork throughout the season. But so we're about to get into the exciting conclusion of Fever. Of course, he's seen this mysterious woman in the building that doesn't exist. This doctor has seen this woman for the second time now. What are we thinking, Evan? What's gonna happen? They're not really leading on to where this may be going. The last time with the haunted hand, it was pretty straightforward. You knew within the first 3 minutes. When you heard it was a murderer's hand, you knew where it was going. This is not as clear.
Yeah. So I think he's got some kind of fever. I'm thinking maybe it's gonna be cooties. Maybe that's what it's gonna be in the end. They've all got cooties for this for this lady in the window.
Yeah, you know what they say about ladies in windows, don't you? They say be careful.
They'll give you cooties.
Because you might catch cooties. So we'll see. I think that's a pretty good guess. I think it's a pretty good bet. And Sylarn, no. The pecan is right here, but I would never confuse the pecan for the beer can. I'm really good about that. Obviously, I've done this show for a while. I'm a pro, and making sure I'm picking up the right can and not drinking piss. But don't talk to me the first couple we were in the first couple months of the show, because took a while to get used to. But
yeah, is it pecan or pecan?
That's. Oh, if I could easily access my soundboard, that's where I'd give a But I think Evan, if unless you have anything else.
I think I'm ready.
All right, then I think Evan's ready. We're going to go ahead and get into the exciting conclusion of Fever right now.
What are you doing here?
Uh-oh.
Is it just professional interest in a habitual drunk doctor? Or are there more personal reasons?
I remember that you once were a man of great talent, Mr. Getty. It would be a shame not to help you.
This guy's gonna steal my window lady.
Talent and genius is
I don't permit anybody to touch her. I won't share her with anybody. Anybody.
Uh-oh.
Don't get excited. Get out. You could make enough money to afford a doctor, Mr. Getty, by selling some of your paintings. I'd gladly take one of them in payment.
Get out.
Who is she, Mr. Getty?
She's mine. And don't get close to her. I'm warning you. And her.
Come on, Mr. Getty. Who is she? You're an old man. Why do you keep such a secret to yourself like a young lover? Is she the girl in the house opposite?
I didn't ask you to see me. And I don't want your help, understand? I don't want anybody to pry into my private life. My pictures are not for sale, and nor my thoughts. Now get out, and don't come back!
Get out!
You're sick, Mr. Getty. You're even mentally ill. I've done everything I could do for you.
Well, if you're not going to give me one of these paintings, then I'm just going to go tell everybody you're crazy. Oh no, it had the reverse effect. It made everybody want his art more. Hear about this painter? He's nuts. He's seeing some lady that doesn't exist. Oh my god, I must get a painting from this man. Gotta love a good creaking door, man.
I thought you'd never find me.
Oh, shit.
It wasn't easy. But then I looked at the church steeple to figure out what this house could be. But it's strange. I must have passed it many times before and didn't see it. What are you afraid of?
Otto Spaghetti.
But you are here with me. What is he to you?
He must never know that I met you.
But why?
I'll say.
I can't tell you.
Well, better stay away from the window.
He will kill me.
Let's keep swaying in front of this light.
How can he threaten you?
Don't ask. Don't ever ask me that.
Cheek to cheek. Don't take... Oh, no! Our cheeks!
My name is
Inez.
Ah, Nez.
Uh-oh.
Cheater, cheater, pumpkin eater. Uh-oh. Fade. You know what that fade means. Wink.
Means some time passed.
Something I've never felt before. And I understand something I never understood before.
I know. You've been a camera. A selective camera. Your eye has been a lens, with the result that parts of my life have become visible to you.
That's true. But like everything unconscious, the result has been evil.
Uh-oh.
You must help me, Franz. I need you to help me. That's why I called you. He has his grip on me. He won't let go of me. I don't want to be with him. I want to be with you.
What do you want me to do?
You found me. It's up to you to decide. I'm helpless. But I don't want you to come with me.
But why?
Because there's no return. There's no return.
Oh.
Sleep.
It was all a dream.
Promise.
What?
Whoa, what?
But I can see you even when I close my eyes. Lean your hand on my eyes.
Please don't talk. I'm here with you. I'm right beside you.
Nobody knows that you are here. That we are together.
I might have to go away for a while, but I'll be back. Now please try to sleep until I'm back with you again.
How is he?
Dang. It's all a fever dream.
Is he still a fever?
A little.
A little.
He talked about a girl, a painter's model. Sigeti must have entered his dreams. That would be a nightmare.
Who was the girl?
She must have been quite a girl. He met her before the fall of man. I think he had a dream of perfect happiness.
Did she have a name?
No, I don't remember. I told you a little cold couldn't finish him off. He'll be all right.
Hello. Remember me?
Where is she?
Where is who?
Uh-oh.
That nurse.
Oh, he can't have been that sick. He noticed that Sister Angela's quite pretty.
I want to see her.
Now, Franz, you're the patient and I'm the doctor. If I were sick and you were the doctor, you could give the orders. At once. There she is, Sister Angela.
Uh-oh. You're not the nurse.
Well, are you satisfied? She is pretty.
That wasn't her.
Maybe it was someone else in your fever dreams. But now, my son, the time for sickness is over. From now on, I want you to get well. Get some more sleep, and this time without nightmares.
The time for being sick is over. Get better already.
Good night, Franz.
Good night. See you
Dang.
tomorrow.
Cold. Pulling away from her. God, it's a high bed. Oh shit. Look at that.
What do you know?
You started selling your paintings? You told me I was on the wait list.
I'll take it. Name your price.
Well, it's a very nice painting. Very nice. And it has quite a history.
History?
Yes. Just a kind of a barter. It travels back and forth between my store and the painter who owns it.
You loan money on it?
Not much, just a little.
I want to buy it.
Oh shit.
Oh, an accident.
Bring into action.
Stand aside, I'm a doctor.
All right, everybody, step back.
I was looking for you. I thought I'd never find you.
Oh no.
Help me. Please. Please help me.
Hold on to me.
Eerie.
Do you have pain?
Tell him not to let me die.
To let you die?
He knows that I've seen you. Go to him.
I must stay with you.
No. Tell him I'll never leave him again. Never. Go quickly. Go before it's too late.
Oh no. Aw, terrible place to fade to black. Ooh, right in the heart. Rip.
Just come in and wordlessly carry
Yep.
her off.
We'll do body disposal people here.
Such a beautiful girl. He mustn't let her die.
Oh no. Is that a fire I hear? Or is it just the crackling
sounds
of
like
the film? Oh, damn. No, no, don't look out the window again. You forgot your pants, sir.
I wanted to ask him if he wanted to sell this painting, but I'm too late.
You are too late.
You want this painting?
Oh, hell no.
Not anymore.
I don't want this cursed painting.
What I wanted me to do.
Who was she? But I've told you, I don't know. Never seen her in my life.
But she was the girl in the accident. The girl in your shop.
You don't mean it.
Wasn't she?
Of course not. That was a redhead, and much older.
Whoa.
Are you sure?
Can't get her out of his head.
That painting's burning good.
Thank you.
Make for a good fur. Wow. The end. Okay, so that was Fever. What did we think, Evan?
Man, that was it. So it ended up just being fever dreams, I guess. It was an odd one, really.
That was, yeah. I was a little
heady, kind of a thinker.
Yeah, I kind of thought there was going to be a little bit more of like a crime or murder.
Yeah, what was the crime? That's the whole like.
You were right,
thrust of the
unfortunately.
show.
Yeah, there wasn't.
Yeah.
There wasn't really a crime there. Yeah, it's kind of strange. And again, I have read somewhere that it seems like on some of these that Chaney's segments have been edited out, and I'd say that's one where it seems like they were, yeah, except for just an appearance at the beginning and appearance at the end. And maybe that's what it's missing. Maybe that would have given it some context as to what the crime was. Um, like
Yeah, this one's a little bit of a mystery. I
Yeah.
think based on what we have to go off of, if we're ranking the crimes, I'm afraid this one might have to come second so far.
Yeah, yeah. If you know, in the ultimate rankings, you know, you really got to pour through the everything we've seen so far, but I think there is ultimately a clear order. Yeah, I think so. So yeah, I mean, kind of a creepy story, you know, kind
It
of.
it's odd to the point of being unsettling.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Mm-hmm.
anytime you invoke fever dream, when's the last time you had fever dreams?
I don't know if I've ever really had like fever dreams. Like in the like when you say that, you mean like an actual like
Yeah, like real,
a
like
crazy dream
the
that you
last
have when
time
you're like sick?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know, honestly.
I know, like the last time the last time I like definitely remember was a while back. It was like my first year in college. I got really sick because everybody you just getting together and mixing germs with
Right.
people who are from all over, so
Right.
everybody gets sick. And I was like laid up in my dorm room bed for like days just with flu or whatever it was, and I was having the craziest dreams the whole time
I
just
mean,
because of the fever.
yeah, it's if fever can I know I have, I just can't really remember the dreams. I feel like if it was really a true fever dream, I'd probably not forget it, but I can't really. I know I've gotten sick and had crazy dreams for sure.
Mm-hmm.
That's definitely happened, but I can't think of a specific time. I'm sure when I had COVID, I had some wild dreams when I could actually
COVID.
sleep. Yeah. Yeah, so it's definitely an unsettling concept for sure. And I
Hello, unknown focus. We've
unknown
got
focus in the house.
got
Hello,
a new
hello.
chatter.
Welcome. Yeah, it's not the most like gimmicky story. I think last week's story, I think that's why it was a little more enjoyable, just because it was kind of gimmicky.
Yeah.
This time, yeah, it was settling a little more for just atmosphere and eeriness and
Yeah,
just kind of
kind of psychological. It reminded me of some of uh, the silent German stuff that we've seen.
yeah, definitely a little bit more of kind of a melodrama, and that's definitely there's again it's a basically a half of a European show essentially. So it is a lot of fun, and oh yes, Stoner Jesus, I have heard that before. Yes. And yeah, I'm not sure about Jacksepticeye. I'm illiterate when it comes to certain internet things, but yes, Stoner Jesus is that's a good one. I'm gonna have to log that one.
We'll take it.
We'll
That's a
definitely
compliment.
take. It is a compliment, 100%. I love that. I love that. That one and the one I got a few months ago to say that I looked like Bob Seger's weed dealer. I love that one too. That was really great. People get really creative with the you look like so and so. I always love that. I always love that shit.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, so it'll be interesting to see if there's a mix of those kind of stories. This one is the most like that anything's reminded me of One Step Beyond or The Veil since we've seen it. So it was crazy. We've just been watching an old TV show, an old horror anthology episode. and that's what we do here. We watch old public domain movies and TV shows. We had a little TV show tonight. We're watching a little old show called 13 Demon Street. We'll be watching those every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern. And of course, this Friday, you gotta check it out. Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern, we're gonna be having our feature presentation of the week. And guess what? We're not getting far from the star and the writer and director of tonight's show. Because this Friday, this Friday we're watching Bride of the Gorilla, which is directed by Kurt Siodmak, and I shouldn't say stars Lon Chaney Jr. I should say has Lon Chaney Jr.
It contains.
He's not the monster, but this is essentially a rehash of the Wolfman story with a gorilla, and voodoo, and so it's a little different, but the same. So I mean, you gotta love Kurt Siodmak, just like, hey, yeah, like if I get to direct it, like, yeah, I'll just rewrite kind of one of my old stories, and you just pull from a little here, a little there, and you get something new. So Bride of the Gorilla, it'll be our ape core film of the season. Of course, loyal viewers know that we always try to get at least one ape or gorilla movie in a season.
There's so many of them
in the public domain
genre. Yeah, especially in public domain.
Of public domain horror films that contain an ape or a gorilla, you would be surprised how many there are. We try to meet a quota of at least one a season. And so last week's film, did it have an ape? I don't know if it quite counts. I mean, you remember at the beginning, there was that thing that was going around, like, killed the geisha girls, and I don't remember. It wasn't completely an ape.
Yeah, it was kind of a Yeti kind of guy. I think, isn't that what we said? It was more of a Yeti.
I think so. I mean, the whole mad scientist.
His name was Kenji, actually.
Kenji, was it his brother? Yeah, I think that was it. I think it was the mad scientist's brother. And the mad scientist was evolutionary experiments. So maybe some kind of ape missing link thing. Who knows? I mean,
yeah,
that was the whole thing with Horror Express. It's always funny.
The missing link. That's my brother.
That's my brother. Now there's a sitcom for you. That's the perfect sitcom. My brother Bigfoot. Yeah, great sitcom. Or Adult Swim show if you make it really surreal and irreverent. We could come up with a pilot. Maybe we could get something together. But we'll try to take some cues from Bride of the Gorilla this Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern. So you can join us for that. It should be fun. I mean, I haven't seen it before. So anytime that we're getting a movie I haven't seen before, it's, hey, for me, it's exciting because I don't know what's going to happen. So we'll see. It's good. I'm very excited for it. Of course, thanks, everybody, so much for tuning in tonight. Been a very good episode. Of course, if you are interested in checking out any of our past episodes, you can go find those over on YouTube. We're over there at Scream Stream Live. You want to check out our social pages. We're over on Twitter and Instagram. I keep saying Twitter, and I'm gonna keep doing it no matter what. We're over there at Scream Stream Show. You can go follow me over on Twitter at Spakenstein, and of course Mr. Evan Sink is over on Twitter and Instagram at Caligari Cursed. We do have a TikTok. We're over there at Scream Stream Show as well. So we try to be out and about on all the socials. I'm not the best at posting on them, but I try. And of course, I almost completely forgot. I just went through the whole rigmarole without even mentioning the fact that, of course, on Fridays we have an amazing segment that Evan brings to us where he pairs a delicious cocktail with the evening's film in a little segment which we call
What were you drinking?
What the hell are we drinking this Friday, Evan?
Well, this Friday we've got a indulgent drink. I think that's going to be the word for this one. We're watching an
Seems
ape-core
that
movie,
way.
which yes. I'm excited for this one. I'm pretty sure it seems like an easy home run. Ape-core movies, usually I try to go for something banana themed. So what I've whipped up this Friday is a drink I'm calling the Banana Breath. So this is it's made with aged rum, frangelico, which is a hazelnut liqueur, banana liqueur, obviously.
Frangelico.
Frangelico.
Ooh,
Hey, what did I say at the
fancy.
beginning of the episode? We're getting fancy.
We're getting
Labor Day is
fancy.
over.
Grand Frangelico.
We're getting grand. I'm
Frangelico.
gonna rub elbows with the upper crust.
Bro, I'm gonna be saying that
But-
word so much on Friday. Frangelico.
Frangelico.
I love that. I've never heard of that before.
Yeah, it's I haven't tried it yet.
So you said
but
it's banana liquor and what liquor?
So the Frangelico is
Oh.
hazelnut.
Oh, I was giving
But we're also going to
hazelnut.
add, yeah. So it's gonna be kind of
I love
kind of a
hazelnut.
chocolate hazelnut banana kind of thing.
So we're doing. You didn't think about calling this the Bluth's frozen banana. You get a little bit of nuts, chocolate, because I saw that there's a frozen
That's
banana.
fair use, right?
You're putting a frozen banana in this.
Yes. So it's aged rum, frangelico, banana liqueur, a frozen banana, a scoop of vanilla ice cream, and a splash of milk. And we're gonna blend that until smooth, and we're gonna garnish with a pinch of nutmeg.
Bro, that
So,
sounds
indulgent.
so good, dude.
It does. It's a
And
milkshake,
you
man.
you
It's a
created
boozy
this.
milkshake. There's some similar-ish recipes, but I
Yeah.
don't think I couldn't find one that was exactly like this.
Well, I'm
So, I'm
all in. It sounds so good, dude. Yeah, so Frangelico is hazelnut. Love hazelnut. You're putting a whole frozen banana in here. Huh?
Yeah, that's the plan. We're gonna see. I mean, as long as it'll fit. Our splash of milk might be, 2 splashes of milk, but
And ice cream, my goodness. God, that's gonna like you said, it's basically gonna be a milkshake, but
it really just is.
it sounds so good, dude. I cannot wait. And
it's not only is it a boozy milkshake, it's a bougie milkshake, I think.
Very nice. Is it frozen?
Yeah, it's that's what the frozen banana instead of putting ice, I think you can just get away with doing that.
Okay, that's very good because again, fall is creeping up on us, but it's still hot, so we're going to be getting tropical on Friday. So it's good to have a nice
still got
little
enough summer left for a frozen drink.
Yeah, I think so. I think, we may have had Labor Day may have come and gone, but you can still enjoy a nice frozen cocktail to beat the heat, which is still around. And, nothing like a good tropical cocktail, get on island time. R.I.P. Buffett, dude. OMG, man.
Yeah, R.I.P.
Man, all the parrot heads out there, we feel for you. I feel for. I'm definitely pour one out for sure. I mean, I can't say that I'm like a diehard Jimmy Buffett fan, but I love other songs besides
I appreciate it.
Margaritaville. You know,
Yeah.
it's not just Margaritaville for me.
I like boat drinks.
Oh, yes, yes. See, I'm definitely in his mainstream catalog, but god dang, the man was around for decades, kicking back, and it was always
Knew how to
5
live.
o'clock. Yeah, he knew how to live. And so we're gonna be definitely embodying. That's what we'll do. We'll turn Friday into a tribute to Buffett. Maybe
Yeah,
we'll
our
do that.
special guest, the ghost of Jimmy
Ghost
Buffett.
of Jimmy Buffett. Oh my god. Well, look out for that on Friday. Anything before we sign off tonight, Evan?
Before we sign off, I do want to mention that so we said there's no crime in this one, but let's not forget that this man was staring at his neighbor every day. I think that's still kind of a crime.
Yeah, there's definitely some kind of stalking in there somewhere, some kind of offense. Agree with that.
Yeah, maybe peeping on your living neighbors, maybe that is worse than stealing a dead man's hands. I don't know.
I don't know. You be the judge.
No.
We'll find out next Wednesday
Leave
if it
this
can.
one up to you, America.
Until next Wednesday, we find out if it can get any worse. Sweet screams, everybody.
And to all, a good fright.